Two-time strawweight champion Carla Esparza is putting her belt on the line against the former champion who wants it back, Zhang Weili. It's the co-main event at UFC 281 at Madison Square Garden. Here to break it all down is the UFC veteran Alan Jouban. Your thoughts on this matchup?
It's a good matchup, right? We have champion versus former champion in here. When you look at this fight, what jumps off the page is you think about the grappling of Carla Esparza. She's probably going to want to try to take this fight to the ground where she's been dominant throughout her UFC career. Zhang Weili has grappling as well, though. It's not going to be easy task. Zhang Weili also very good in the striking. She's the type of girl likes to get into a fist fight, throw combinations one after another. We're going to break it all down here and show where these girls' strengths lie in the fight game.
We will dive deep into the X's and O's with Alan's expertise. Hit that fight focus there, and we're going to zero in on the former champion first, her weapon of choice. Elbows right at the top of the list.
One of my favorite weapons, the elbows. Paul Felder speaks about it. Zhang Weili has tremendous elbows as well. We get right into it in this matchup. Zhang Weili right here. These girls are in the clinch right here, and this is a little bit of Muay Thai 101. You could see right here, they're both in a bit of a Thai clinch, and she has her hand on top of Joanna Jędrzejczyk's arm right here. She's trying to break it free so she could land this elbow over the top. The right elbow is her elbow of choice. So I'm going to show you, Brendan, can I use you in a bit of a demo right here?
Sure.
I'm going to go camera friendly right here. So you put your arm up right here. So if Brendan is Joanna Jędrzejczyk and I am Zhang Weili, what I'm looking to do is my hand is here. I'm trying to retract my shoulder so that his hand is free and shuck it down. From here, now it allows me room to come over the top and land that elbow. So again, if we're here, rather than fighting 50-50, I remove the shoulder out of the way, land the beautiful elbow. And this one was the left, but she loves, in this case, the right elbow. She does it all the time. So I'm gonna show you right here. Shucks it down, right elbow over the top. Again, a lot of times when she throws her elbows, it's a lot of elbows. There's more than one. You see in this fight right here as well, she throws a 1-2. Watch how she mixes in this right elbow behind the jab right here. Boom. Sneaks that in. This fight right here, she actually gets to finish off her elbows, and I want to show you more about it. This is Muay Thai 101 right here. Elbow high, knee low to the body, and you go back and forth. So you can see right here, in this fight, she's elbowing the head numerous times. They're in this clinch position we just showed. Whenever her opponent defends up high, what she's going to now do is she's going to knee to the body, and it becomes a game of if you block high, I knee low. If you block low, I elbow high, back and forth. And in this fight, she's able to eventually get the finish from this. You see this, elbows to the head, knees to the body, keeps the pressure on. She's like a shark when she smells blood. She swarms you right here. She gets the finish, was able to win the belt from those elbows. In this matchup right here, Jessica Aguilar, we talked about the elbows of Zhang Weili standing, but she's got beautiful elbows on the mat as well. You can see she's not even thinking really about punching. She's just trying to find room right here to land this elbow on Jessica Aguilar. I'm gonna roll it. She's in dominant side control right here. She's thinking elbows. She's trying to soften her up. But what she does is she gets in the mount, gets a little bit high, makes a little bit of a mistake, but she finds herself in a triangle position right here. So she's got smart jiu-jitsu right here. Immediately grabbing the shin, securing this triangle. Once this triangle is secured, then she doesn't have to think about it anymore. Aguilar's not going anywhere. She could start thinking about submission, but she doesn't think about submission. She's thinking about elbows. She's a bit of a savage, Zhang Weili. She will elbow you on the ground to soften you up, to set up something if she doesn't get the finish. In this case, she's able to transition from a triangle. Watch right here as she's about to slip the leg over and finish with a beautiful armbar, getting the submission finish. And that was all set up by the elbow gang of Zhang Weili.
All right, well, we've seen and we saw there, by the way that she won the title against Jessica Andrade, she will stand in close quarters and she will throw combinations. Take us through it.
She loves the combination work as well. One good thing that she does is, this is something that coaches always want you to do. They always yell in combinations, put punches together. Something she does very beautifully is if she ever finds herself overcommitted on a right hand or a right elbow, she loves the left kick. She finishes with the left kick. Rather than retracting and coming back square, she retracts, throwing a strike. And you'll see that right here in this combination, double jab, right elbow, left kick. She does that so well in a lot of her fights. You see it again right here as well. Double jab, right hand. She throws the kick at the end of it. Right here against Joanna Jędrzejczyk, I want to show you this pull right hand real quick. This is Joanna Jędrzejczyk, former champion, one of the best strikers in the division, obviously. We know how good she is. Zhang Weili is very comfortable to stand in the pocket with her, though. And you see right about, if I can find the right place for you guys, right about here. This is called a pull right hand. I'll use you again, Brandon. If you're going to throw your jab at me nice and slowly, I'm going to pull out of the way real quickly. And then when you're retracting it, I'm trying to beat you to the punch before you can bring your guard up, your defense. And so that's what it is. It's called a pull right hand. You see right here, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, she's got a jab out. You see right here as well, Zhang Weili, she was out of the way of the punch. She didn't get hit. She's looking for that counter right here, the pull right hand, before Joanna Jędrzejczyk can retract it and defend herself, which she's able to land very cleanly. Everything seems to be 3 punches. It's never 1 punch at a time. She's sitting there in the pocket, and she does a tremendous amount of damage with these combinations in the middle of fights.
All right, well, we know she's got great elbows, combinations up top. If that wasn't enough, the kicks have proven to be dangerous.
Yeah, she's got so many varieties of weapons to choose from. Kicks are one of them that she likes to use a lot of times as well when she wants to keep her opponents at range. You see right here, she's just got a variety of kicks, body kicks, side kicks, watch, low kicks, high kicks. It keeps you guessing all the time. And one other thing that it does, aside from keeping you guessing, is it creates space, it creates distance. So think about the Carla Esparza fight. Carla's trying to cover the distance the entire time. These kicks might throw Carla off. They're a little bit dangerous to getting taken down with kicks, but if she could use them the right way and create this type of space whenever she doesn't want to get into the close quarters with Carla, it's going to really benefit her in the fights. And she does it so well. Look at the amount of space she's able to get right here against Tecia Torres, another opponent who's very good at grappling, very well physically strong, like Carla Esparza. She has a variety of weapons in all these fights. I'm going to show right here. Tecia Torres, you see right here, she's starting to get a bit of a bladed stance. What does that tell me? She's probably looking to spin, right? She's trying to cheat it. If we're standing square, it's hard to spin. You start to cheat it a little bit, and it allows less distance to travel whenever you're spinning with a back kick or anything like that. So if she doesn't land what she's looking for, she's always got something in the pipeline looking to come. So the spinning back kick did not land. We have the spinning back fist set up, ready to land. This looks familiar to a lot of you. This one didn't land flush against Tecia Torres, but I promise you in a few moments you're going to see it land flush. So watch this fight. Joanna Jędrzejczyk, the former champion, take notice how many side kicks she's throwing, right? She's trying to keep Joanna at range. Joanna, she's trying to get in here in the pocket, right? But she's not able to get into those close quarters because Zhang Weili is hitting her with those outside kicks to the belly right now. Joanna's processing this, so she knows this is the kick of choice that's probably coming against Zhang Weili. So in this exchange right here, Zhang Weili is thinking side kick. Joanna knows this is coming, so she's gonna look to deflect it and then try to counter off of it. The problem is, when you're fighting Zhang Weili, if she misses something, as we've shown in all these other ones, she's always got another strike following up with combinations, or in this case, the spinning back fist. So I'm gonna roll it forward right here. You see the side kick is coming right here. It misses. Joanna thinks she's clear. She's probably about to throw a left hand and land something big, but you can see right here, Zhang Weili, she's got that right hand chambered. She's off balance. She's already looking to not only throw the fist, but she does a beautiful job of this. She gets her head around. She's looking, as soon as you could turn that direction, your body follows wherever your head goes. So she's spinning her head, the hips are gonna follow, the spinning back fist is gonna follow, and it's gonna lead to this beautiful knockout right there that lands right on the neck of Joanna Jędrzejczyk, puts her out in that big rematch between the two champions.
We have seen in the past great wrestlers mitigate a good kicker because of how they catch the kick. Carla Esparza certainly used that to her success over her career.
She is great at it. This is something that I'm very curious to see in this matchup. A great kicker in Zhang Weili, somebody who's always looking to catch the kicks in Carla Esparza. Something's got to give. I think Zhang Weili is going to have to make some adjustments in her game, because if she doesn't, you're going to see something like this happen. This is Yan Xiaonan versus Carla Esparza. Yan has gotten beat up a little bit in this fight. She's looking to keep this fight long and rangy, not to get into the wrestling. But what happens is she's thinking about kicks too much in this one. And Carla is recognizing that. You see her catch that kick there, but let me just back it up and show you what was happening here. Carla is eyeballing her the entire time. She's watching her hips, and she's also watching her footwork. So as she gets closer, you can see Carla. She's watching her upstairs, but she's also watching her footwork. And Yan is going to switch her feet like this. If you're throwing a switch kick, you switch your feet, throw the kick up right here. Carla recognizes that immediately. And you see right there, she switches the feet to switch kick. Carla's gonna grab this kick right here. You wanna catch the kick right here, hold it up high, and it gives you a lot of options. In this case, Carla's gonna catch the kick, head on the inside, single leg dump, gets on top, more pressure as well. In this fight right here against Zhang Weili, same thing. Zhang Weili wanted to land that big right kick. Carla was looking for it. I'm gonna back it up a little bit. You can see the setup of this kick. If I can get to the right spot right here, I just wanna show you what Carla's looking for right here. This is obviously a loaded hip and a loaded foot. Carla sees that. Carla is aware. She sees her hips are back. She sees her foot's planted. She knows the kick is coming. Immediately, Carla's gonna put her left arm up to deflect this kick and allow herself a chance to catch it. You see right there, her arm's up. She's very aware. She knew this was coming. She saw the hips loaded. She goes to her kick catching ability and she catches this. Once she catches this kick, she's got a variety of options. Honestly, if this was me, I'm throwing a punch down the pipe because I'm naturally a striker at heart. Carla is a wrestler her entire life. So she's not thinking punch. She's thinking she can either from here just run a double leg or she could go a single leg on the head on the inside. But in this case, she chooses to get a big dump with the inside trip. Big takedown, finds herself on top. Another takedown from an opportunity from catching the kick.
Yeah, and we often talk about great wrestlers, and it's not that they get the takedown the first time. Every great wrestler has second, third, fourth efforts. Chain wrestling for Carla Esparza.
You've got to be right. That first attempt fails, you stay with it. You keep the pressure on. Carla is a wrestler at heart. Beautiful chain wrestling. You're going to see in these examples, she puts together so many wrestling attempts right here, chain wrestling. You see right here, Yan Xiaonan, she made a mistake. She rushed in, got a little aggressive. You can't do that against Carla Esparza. She will change levels immediately. Double leg. You see right here, even in the scrambles, Carla uses that underhook right here. Boom. Strong underhook right here. Head and arm throw. She'll stay with it in the chain wrestling. That was 2 takedowns right there for Carla Esparza. They stay with it. Yan was not giving up on it. They create a little bit of a scramble right here. Look at Carla. She's got head on the outside. She's got arm on the hip. She's blocking the leg right here. Now, she has a couple of options. Carla could either try to run through and try to double leg her, but that's going to be tough because what's going to happen is Yan Xiaonan, she's going to plant her feet. And then it's going to be like, who's the strongest person? You got to be smarter than that. When you're a smart wrestler, when you're good at wrestling, what you do is you're just going to cut the corner. You're going to take your right foot, this foot, you're going to put it up, and you're just going to turn in this angle, use your head going in this direction, and cut the corner. She does that very nicely in this one. Cuts the corner, put her against the fence. Same thing right here. She actually cuts the corner more, Brennan, when she gets girls against the fence. So in this Weili matchup, look for this. If she's able to get on the hips of Zhang Weili, look for her to cut this corner. And what she's going to do is the exact same thing. She is going to try to swivel her hips around and then use her head and bring her opponent this way. It makes it a lot easier rather than just trying to pull someone off the cage, create an angle, and go at a momentum that they can't defend. You see it happen right here. Pulls her off, gets the takedown, cuts the corner. Chain wrestling right here. Look, failed attempt. Reshoots Alexa Grasso. I know you know what's coming. What's happening? Tell the people what's happening.
We're gonna turn the corner.
We're gonna turn the damn corner. She cuts the corner. She's right here. Grasso is actually gonna do a good job with this whizzer, this overhook, and she's gonna hip into her, but it creates a little bit of momentum right here for Carla Esparza. Carla Esparza is going to cut this corner, make it an easier takedown. That way she's not fighting muscle against muscle. It's technique and muscle against muscle right here. She's gonna do a beautiful job. Pulls her to the right, cuts the corner. She goes for an inside trip to finish it off. She stays with it. Carla is so good at stringing these wrestling takedowns together. You see right here in this matchup, they're in a pummel clinch right there. It's a 50-50 position. Somebody's looking to have the dominant position right here. So what Carla does, she makes a little bit of an adjustment. She gets head and arm. They're 50-50. She goes head and arm. You see right here, she just takes this overhook. Instead of being on the arm right here, she brings it up around the head, connects her hands. She has a head and arm. Now she's looking to get a throw. And the key to getting this throw right here is being able to beat these hips. Carla needs to get her leg on the outside of Alexa Grasso's leg right here. This is gonna beat the hips and allow her to complete this throw. I'm gonna roll it, head and arm, locked up, beat the hips right here. Gets a beautiful head and arm throw. Again, she had to stay with that one. That wasn't an easy takedown. There was some pummeling, to set that up, but the chain wrestling is what landed her the takedown.
Big scoring criteria is not takedowns. It's ground control once you get the takedown. Carla Esparza's, obviously we would expect her to be good at this as a wrestler. Let's walk us through it.
You're right. You have to get it down. You have to keep them down. Zhang Weili is not easy to be kept down. But fortunately for Carla, she's got beautiful pressure, very strong pressure. And pressure is something that a lot of people, it's hard to visibly see on TV unless I kind of show you. But right here, Carla's able to pass this guard just by the hip pressure. You see right here, her hips are against the shins of Yan Xiaonan. She's not even using her hands. She's hipping into her, forcing Zhang to face the opposite direction so she can hip pass. So that's just a small example of hip pressure. We're gonna roll this forward right here. You see, she's trying to pass the guard. The only problem she's having right now, though, is that Yan has this butterfly hook in. This knee right here on the inside of Carla. She's trying desperately to get past it, is Carla, but Yan Xiaonan is doing a good job of keeping that in. What she needs to do is clear this knee, and I'm gonna show you how she does. She's very good at this pressure and passing. So we roll it forward, and we're gonna see here, you see Carla start to put her hands on the knee of Yan Xiaonan right here. Hand on the knee. That's forcing Yan's knee to go away from her. And Carla is now trying to hip escape, just a little switch of the hip. She's trying to throw her hips over the knee. And that's how she's going to pass the guard. So if you watch it nice and slowly, you see she stuffs the knee, passes with the hips, then immediately slams her hips down, preventing Yan from bringing her knee back in. I'm going to go back it up a tiny bit. I just want to show something. If Carla passed the guard and she kept her hips up in this kind of A-frame TP position, you can see it allows Yan to insert that knee back in. And then they will be playing the game over and over again. So as soon as you pass, you have to slam your hips to the mat. That way you're not allowing for Yan to insert her knee again, and you see she does just that. Carla's got really strong hips. And when they say strong hips, this is what they mean. Somebody who moves the hips on a swivel with force, and she has a purpose behind it. She's not allowing Yan to recollect the guard again. From here, Carla's gonna do what she does. She's a grappler. She passes the guard. She's looking for that crucifix, right? So she's gonna collect knee slice onto that near side arm, has that arm mobilized. Now she's looking to take this arm out. Normally, what you wanna do right here is try and have Yan's arm on this side of her face. Carla wasn't able to get it, but just the pressure alone that she puts when she's passing, she's got a chest pressure on top of Yan's arm that's immobilizing this arm, and she's just gonna go get her in this crucifix position and start throwing punches, throwing elbows. You can see how bloodied up Yan Xiaonan is. The referee's watching. She knows there's not gonna be any escape from Carla Esparza in this when she gets the finish. This was one of Carla's best victories, in my opinion. This is a very relatable opponent. Yan Xiaonan is very much like Zhang Weili, a very good striker, very physical, and she was able to dominate her in the grappling exchanges.
At this level, you can't just shoot a takedown without setting it up. I hear you guys say it all the time.
Yeah.
Walk us through what it means. Punches and bunches, you need to put something in front of a takedown attempt.
100%, right? Because if Zhang Weili doesn't respect the striking of Carla, then she's knowing that she's only one-dimensional. Then she knows that she's only going to be looking to shoot takedowns. So she needs to make her respect her, as she does right here against Alexa Grasso. She needs to get these punches and bunches going to set up the takedowns. And so you're going to see right here in this fight, she's able to use her blitzes, runs forward, strings together a number of punches. Claudia Gadelha is forced to walk backwards. And anybody knows that I can walk forward faster than you can walk backwards. The same thing in this case, obviously. Carla can run forward faster than Gadelha is going to be able to walk backwards, which allows her to land the punches. And more importantly, it sets up the takedown, as you see in this one. The more that Carla could have Zhang Weili thinking about those punches and defending the punches, the easier the takedowns are going to be on those type of setups. So I want to see her get these punches going, get these blitzes going, being defensively smart about it, but get those punches going and making Zhang Weili respect the striking to set up those takedowns that she wants.
All right, X's and O's can only take you so far, right? There's got to be an intangible there. For Carla Esparza, what is her X factor that has allowed her to get the belt back as she looks to keep it again?
Yes, she's gotten this belt by a number of things. Grappling is the one that I said jumps off the page. But this is one that you can't teach, and that's toughness and heart. Carla Esparza has a tremendous amount of toughness and heart. See right here, Alexa Grasso, she's caught deep in an arm bar. What she needs to do is stack the hips. So what I mean by that is, in order not to get your arm extended, you need to crunch down the arm. So she needs to create as little distance possible between Alexa's chest and her hips. She doesn't want Alexa expanding the arm. So she's stacking her appropriately as she should on the proper defense. She's also gonna do another level of defense right here, which is shin on chin, shin on the face right here. It's just uncomfortable. It's nasty. Some people put their knee on the artery. You're trying to just push somebody away from trying to extend. You want them to think, let me bail on this because it's too uncomfortable. What happens in this one though, Carla gets a little top heavy. She comes out over the top. Alexa Grasso, she does the proper escape, which is slide out from underneath, and you can stick with the armbar. Both of these things happen simultaneously. Carla ends up in a worse position, which is when you're flat on your back, stuck in an armbar. Now we get to a little bit of the toughness of this fight, because you can see right here, Brennan, nobody wants to be in this position. First of all, she's got double hand wrist control. She's got the thumb up. If you're watching if you're getting an armbar, guys, the thumb has to be up. That's when the arm doesn't move. If the thumb's down, it could bend. So she's doing the right thing. She's keeping that thumb up. She's got the arm extended right here. And you can see right here, there's already popping happening. There's something, tendons are popping. Carla's not giving up. I'm gonna play this a little bit slowly so we can see what happens. Brandon, you were on this call.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you guys had to be going nuts thinking this is probably over. She's probably gonna tap any bit. I wanna freeze it right about here. What were you thinking when you saw this live?
We thought the finish was imminent at this point.
You thought this was over, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember this fight. I was thinking, this is done.
Mm-hmm.
Her arm is done. She has one arm now. I'm gonna just do what everybody. I'm gonna show you guys this. The arm's not supposed to bend like that. Carla's tough. She doesn't give up on it. Not only does she not tap, she's working the proper defense, which is the corkscrew. She needs to bring her feet this way, her head out the back door right here. She'll be able to come out on top and get her thumb down. I'm gonna play it. She sticks with it. Most people would have stopped right here. She stays. She gives herself an opportunity to win this fight. This same fight continues for about another 35 seconds. The first thing she does when she gets back to the feet, after all that, you would think she's got one hand, one arm now. What is she gonna do? The first thing she does, Brennan, she throws her right hand. I mean, her arm was just destroyed, and the first thing she does with that toughness, she throws her right hand. Not only does she throw her right hand, the rest of this fight, you guys are going nuts. You can hear the crowd in the background. There's about a 25 seconds of these two women standing in the center of the octagon, bloodied up, toe-to-toe, trading blows. Carla's nose is busted up. Her arm is mangled right now, but she stays in it. She doesn't quit. She knows she just has to ride out the clock, and she ends up getting the victory in this fight with that toughness that she always shows in the octagon.
All right, for Zhang Weili, what is the X factor on the other side for Zhang Weili?
Yeah, and so this one's fun because we think about grappling. I keep beating it into everybody's brains about the grappling of Carla, but the X factor for Zhang Weili is her grappling. She has grappling. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for Carla to get these takedowns. You watch Zhang Weili, she's physically very strong, but she's got great takedowns. You saw that overhand right to create a collision, get her hands on Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Beautiful double leg. I mean, that's picture perfect. Let me just back it up a little bit. She looks for takedowns. She looks for these type of exchanges. You see the overhand right lands beautifully. I don't even know if she was trying to land that punch as much as I think she was trying to create a car wreck. She gets in there, throws her right hand, and immediately, look, she gets her hands on Joanna, head on the outside, looking to tap the knee, use her head. Footwork, watch footwork right here. She's moving her feet in the direction that she wants the takedown to go. Nice double leg. She gets a double leg. She stays with it. She's got grappling instincts. Look at her right here, how she is holding the foot of Joanna. It's like a table. You take one leg out, the table falls over. You keep that leg up the entire time so the table can't flatten out. She's doing that. She's just making it a tough night at the office for Joanna Jędrzejczyk. But she's very good at making people uncomfortable. And in these grappling exchanges, also right here, Joanna's able to get her foot to the ground right away. Chain wrestling, we talked about Carla Esparza. This is chain wrestling for Zhang Weili. You see right here, she's in the high crotch position right here. Head on the outside, has her hands clasped together. What she's thinking is elevate. She wants to use this hip in and elevate her. Daniel Cormier has done this to so many people where he elevates him. You see him elevate a 300-pound man in the air like it's nothing. The high crotch is like a handle. You could lift people up and elevate them. She's trying to throw her. I mean, you know what? If I'm being honest, I don't even know if she's baiting this high crotch just to take the back or is she really thinking high crotch. But I'll show you. She's going high crotch. Look at Joanna. She goes, I'm not going airborne. Joanna puts a hand against the fence. She didn't want to get dumped on her face. Zhang Weili recognized that at the same time. So right here, she's thinking high crotch, but watch the moment that her hands let go. Keep an eye on her hands. As soon as she realizes the high crotch isn't there, she aborts it, goes to taking the back immediately. Smooth transition, high crotch to the back, keeps the pressure on. Chain wrestling from the striker, Zhang Weili. So good at it. Right here, Jessica Aguilar. Brandon Fitzgerald, I know you've been paying attention. What happens when Zhang Weili is in close quarters in a clinch with an opponent?
Elbows.
Elbows, baby, you know it. Keep an eye on the right elbow. That's her weapon of choice. You'll see it right here. Sneaky little right elbow over the top. Watch for those in the Carla Esparza fight. She's going to be throwing them. Also right here, she's looking wrestling. Outside trip. Her head was on the same side, though. It's not really good on that side. You need to have your outside trip on one side, head on the other side. She corrects it right here. Now she's in a better position. Head on one side. She's thinking outside trip. So all she wants to do right here is try to thread her leg, her foot, her knee, something between the legs of Jessica Aguilar right here. Get a body lock, and it's a little body lock takedown. You kind of tap the knee, and you bring the body the opposite direction. Physicality helps in these types of takedowns too. When you're stronger than your opponent, you can kind of bully them to the mat. She's not afraid to grapple, as she showed right there. Last one right here, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. We just talked about it. Body lock takedown. She's got the body lock. Her hands aren't even together, but she has her arms on Joanna. Threading the knee through the legs. You want to split the legs right here, get them off balance. And again, it's a little pop of the hips, body lock, follow them to the mat. They call this a mat return. Sometimes when people pop up too soon, you mat return them. Gets another takedown. Zhang Weili, very strong on the ground. So it's going to be very interesting in this matchup if Carla's going to be able to use that chain wrestling to get her down and keep her down.
Well, you've given us a lot to digest, Alan. You really do know what you're talking about. It seems like you've done this before. Let's go into keys to victory, and we'll summarize what you kind of walked us through. What are the keys to victory for Carla Esparza to hold on to that championship?
She needs to 100% get this fight to the ground. She's the better grappler. She's the better wrestler. It's going to be tough at times to get this fight to the ground, but using that chain wrestling that she has and that experience, get this fight to the ground, which is a better chance of winning. Also, an answer to Weili's strikes. Weili is someone that shows that she likes to throw combinations and she loves to kick, right? Carla is fantastic at catching the kicks. If she can catch these kicks, get some easy takedowns, it's going to deter the confidence of Weili to want to engage all the time, make it a much better fight for Carla Esparza. And lastly, nothing lazy. Carla Esparza is grappling heavy. It tires you down sometimes. It makes your arms heavy. Sometimes after these grappling exchanges, she throws lazy strikes and she gets hit. She can't get hit against Zhang Weili. She's too much of a finisher. Carla Esparza needs to be in it and on point for the entire 25 minutes if it goes that long.
All right, let's swipe over to the former champion, Zhang Weili, and her keys to victory if she wants that belt back.
Yeah, I think she needs to stay long in this fight because Carla wants to close the distance. In order to do that and still strike straight punches, that's your longest punch. If she could strike long, straight punches down the pipe, make Carla take a desperate shot from far, it'll play into her advantage. Also, dominate in the clinch battles. We talked about the elbows, baby. I love the right elbow that she sneaks in there. Carla Esparza is going to cover that distance. They're going to find themselves in a clinch against the fence at some point. Sneak some of those elbows in. See if she can get some damage. Cut her open, get some blood, staying on the feet, doing damage. Clinch battles, going to win those the entire time. Also, win the scrambles. We talked about it. Carla Esparza wants to get the fight to the ground. Do not give up on these. Do not give up on one takedown. You have to keep fighting and fighting and fighting, using her physicality and just creating a scramble where she can get back to the feet. She doesn't have to out-wrestle Carla. She just needs to find a way to get back to her feet in order to give her a better chance of winning this matchup.
Well, one thing that we know to be true is that when Zhang Weili is fighting for a title, you can bet it's going to be an exciting fight for however long it lasts. And at UFC 281, what a journey it's been for Carla Esparza, the inaugural strawweight champion of this division from years ago, battled all the way back and won the belt again. And now she looks to defend it at UFC 281 in Madison Square Garden. For Alan Jouban, thanks for your expertise, my friends. I'm Brendan Fitzgerald. Thanks for watching UFC Breakdown.